You get pet insurance for one reason, right? Peace of mind. But what if that policy you're faithfully paying for is actually riddled with holes? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain and go deep into the fine print. We'll uncover the hidden traps that could leave you with a massive, unexpected bill and show you exactly what to look for to get the coverage you think you're paying for. So, you're paying that premium month after month, assuming you're protected. But let's ask the tough question. Is your pet really covered? It's time to find out what might be lurking in your policy.
Okay, let's paint a picture. Your puppy gets sick, I mean really sick, and you rush to the vet. The diagnosis comes back, and so does a vet bill for $6,000. Your first thought is probably, phew, thank goodness for insurance. But what if that feeling of relief is about to completely vanish?
Okay, let's dive into the biggest trap we see in so many pet insurance policies. It's something I like to call a silent coverage killer because it operates just beneath the surface of that big, reassuring annual limit they advertise right on the front page. So, what is it? It's called a sublimit. And what it is a hidden cap on what an insurer will pay for a specific condition, no matter what your main policy limit is. So, while your plan might boast a big, flashy annual number, these little sublimits can absolutely gut your actual payout right when you need it the most. Here's a real-world example of how this plays out, and it's kind of shocking. Your policy proudly advertises a big $15,000 annual limit. Great! But let's say your dog needs a common but expensive cruciate ligament surgery that costs $6,000. Well, buried in the fine print is a sublimit that caps the payout for that specific surgery at just $1,000. All of a sudden, you're on the hook for the other $5,000. That is not peace of mind. And look, we're not talking about some super rare, bizarre conditions here. Sublimits are often slapped on some of the most frequent and costly issues pets face, from tick paralysis and hip dysplasia to even basic dental work. You can see how these tiny caps on really common, big problems can add up fast. All right, here's another sneaky detail you gotta watch out for. It's the per-condition excess. Now, an excess is just the amount you pay out of pocket before your insurance kicks in. But a per-condition excess means you pay that fee for every single separate issue in a year. So if your dog has an ear infection, a tummy bug, and then gets an injury, boom, you're paying that excess 3 different times. The much, much better alternative, a single annual excess. You pay it once a year, and that's it. Done. So with all these traps out there, you might be wondering, what does a good policy even look like? Well, to figure that out, we took a look at how this one Australian company, Petsy, decided to structure its insurance model to tackle these exact problems head-on. Basically, they built their entire model to be the opposite of what we just talked about. First up, no confusing sublimits. Gone. They also use that single annual excess we mentioned, not one for every condition. And instead of a bunch of confusing tiers, they have one core product you can customize.
But here's something that really caught my eye. It's this powerful incentive for getting in early. A 20% lifetime bonus for pet owners who insure their puppy or kitten before they hit 6 months old. That is a massive deal.
And get this, they are literally the only insurer in Australia doing this kind of lifetime reward for getting covered early. They even offer a 10% bonus for pets insured before their first birthday, which really creates a clear reason to think about this stuff from the start. You can really hear this philosophy coming through in what their co-founder, Monica Lamonto, has to say. The goal, she says, is to make insurance simpler, fairer, and more transparent, which, you'll notice, directly targets all those pain points that leave pet owners feeling so frustrated.
Okay, so that's the philosophy. That's the mission. But does it actually hold up in the real world? Let's check out the proof from both the experts and, more importantly, from actual customers. We'll just look at 2025. They've already racked up a bunch of national awards from independent groups like Mozo and WeMoney. And notice what the awards are for: exceptional quality, best for young pets, and outstanding customer service. It really backs up the features we've been talking about. And you know, it's one thing for experts to say you're great, but what about actual customers? Well, when you combine the ratings from Product Review, Trustpilot, and Google, they come out as Australia's highest-rated pet insurer. That suggests that people are really feeling that transparency they promise.
But honestly, stats are one thing. A story like this from a customer named Rob, this is what it's all about. After his 6-month-old puppy, Sino, needed some really unexpected, high-cost surgery, he said the whole experience restored his faith in insurance. And that right there is the real-world impact of having coverage you can actually count on.
All right, so we've covered a lot, but what does this mean for you?
How can you use all this to protect yourself and your pet no matter which insurance provider you choose? It all comes down to this super simple but really powerful checklist. 4 questions you should ask any provider you're considering. Number 1. Do you use sublimits? 2. If you do, can I see a complete list of them? 3. Is your excess paid once a year or for every single condition? And 4. Do you offer any kind of lifetime bonuses? The answers to these 4 questions will tell you everything you need to know.
At the end of the day, here's the biggest takeaway from all of this. That big annual limit they splash across the front of the brochure, it's not the whole story. Real, dependable coverage, the kind that actually shows up in an emergency, it's all found in the details, in understanding the sublimits, the type of excess, and the true structure of the policy. And that really leaves us with one final, crucial question you have to ask about your own policy. Is it genuinely simple and transparent, or is it just designed to look that way? Because the answer could make all the difference in the world.